What excites me the most is our vision, bringing these incredible companies together. It isn't just about integrating them. It's about transforming them to be this high-performing company that continues to service our members and truly support their success.
I believe that growth and change is something that most people think they want, but it usually can be pretty painful. We do want and desire a transformation, but getting there, it is a journey.
I really think if everyone understands the vision, then it really helps them understand, okay, this is where we're trying to get to. Our independent retailers' unique value proposition is their service model of how they service their customers. And the customer demographic is changing. If a pro contractor calls in and says, I'm short 12 2x4s, they're going to do everything in their power to get in the back of a truck and get it to job site within 45 minutes of that call.
Yeah.
And that is a key differentiator.
I agree.
So everyone is aligned to the vision.
Welcome to the Grit Blueprint Podcast, the playbook for building unmistakable brands that grow, lead, and last in the built world. I'm Stephanie Couch, the founder of Grit Blueprint, and I'm a lifelong building industry insider. I was raised here, built my career here, and now my team and I help others win here. The truth is, you can be the best option in your space and still lose to someone else who simply shows up better and more consistently. Each week on the Grit Blueprint, I'm going to show you how to stand out, earn trust, and turn your brand into a competitive advantage that lasts. If you're ready to be seen, known, chosen, and become unmistakable, you're in the right place. Let's get started. Welcome to the Grit Blueprint Podcast. I am your host, Stephanie Couch, and I am here today with my guest, Marianne Thompson from Do It Best. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
And we aren't just on the show, we're actually on the show floor. We're here at Market, and this is your first Market as a Do It Best member employee. And you are really getting a good show here because 9,000 people are supposedly in the house. It's packed out.
I have had goosebumps all day.
Yeah.
The vibe on the floor is so exciting. Our members are so excited. They're so engaged.
Yeah.
There's so much new at the show, new products, innovation, new suppliers.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. I was at Power Preview yesterday. Great new grill line with Royal King and Napoleon. They were all grilling pineapple. It was delicious. And then today, just like you said, so many things happening. Kids everywhere, dogs everywhere. There's a puppy booth down the road. I haven't escaped there yet, but I'm planning to wrangle a puppy, if possible, into my podcast booth. I think it's a great idea.
I was already in there. I had my puppy fix and lovin' just a little time ago, and what a great addition to give people that opportunity on the floor and just take a break, have a breath, and just love these little puppies.
Yeah, it is a really great marketing idea. I wish I had thought of it, honestly, in my podcast booth. Well, I'm excited to talk to you about your amazing career that has been spanning retail for a long time. But tell me first what you do at Do It Best, and then I want you to go back and tell us about your story of how you got here.
Yeah, absolutely. So I am Executive Vice President of Transformation and Integration. It's a mouthful.
It is. That's quite a long title.
I tell the team I love it. And why I love it is because of having the word transformation in it. That, bringing these incredible companies together, it isn't just about integrating them. It's about transforming them to be this high-performing company that continues to service our members and truly support their success.
Yeah. And transformation is such a powerful word. I feel like most of us in our life, when we do something, we do want and desire a transformation, but getting there, whether it's a fitness journey or a change of career or combining two very large successful companies, it is a journey. So I know that you're going through that journey now. You've been here for a while. But I want you to take me back because you've been in this industry over 35 years. So tell me about how you got here and what you've done throughout your career.
I started in this career 38 years ago in 1987, working at a lumber yard. And what attracted me to go work part-time at the lumber yard was I already knew the products. I actually already knew how to build. And that was because really young, I grew up having a father who was a plumber, a brother 13 years older than I am, and an electrician. And we had a family cottage that we were always renovating. So whether it was putting in a new holding tank, putting on addition, doing docks, we were always building. I don't remember when I put a hammer in my hand. Like I was so young. I remember at the age of 12, roofing the spraying shingles on the roof at the cottage. So it really just seemed natural. So when I needed that part-time job, I went to somewhere that felt comfortable.
Yeah.
And I was also excited that, hey, maybe we can get a discount on the materials.
When you love the product and buy it, it is always good.
Yes.
That's also why I should never work at a jewelry store or a hat store, Marianne. It would not be good for my budget. Well, that's incredible. And I'm sure that you learned so much that first little bit at the lumberyard. What was your job there as a part-time?
So I did many jobs. And after college, full-time, I was so fortunate to be on a store manager training program and pretty much did every job in the store except drive the drywall truck to site.
Yeah.
And that learning of the front end operation and the back end operation, I truly believe is why I'm here where I am today. I'm really understanding how our members' business operate. In 1997, I went on the road in sales for a supplier. And the entrepreneurs of the independents, they would say to me, Marianne, you talk to us differently. You talk to us about inventory turns. It's not just about the size of the PO that, you think about how much product's going to sit on the shelf.
Yeah.
You're concerned knowing how small our receiving areas are. And I'm like, yeah,
You've lived it.
I've lived it. And I also want to make sure, though, that we're giving you a program that is going to work for you. It's going to grow sales for you. So I always had that mindset, right, from starting my career in sales. And it's truly because of those kind of 10 years.
I love that. And I do think people absolutely pay attention to that. They see when people are different and when they're bought in and when they understand the products and the people and the processes.
Yes.
This episode of the Grit Blueprint podcast was sponsored by Do It Best Group. Do It Best Group is the largest co-op in the world, and they help independent hardware and lumber yards all over North America win. Do It Best offers services, products, and people that can help you win long term. They are the champion of independence. So one of the things that I'm sure, help people do in that moment was actually transform their business by thinking about things differently than maybe other salespeople had. And that's continued. I believe that growth and change is something that most people think they want, but it usually can be pretty painful. I think about, running or losing weight or whatever, that moment in the gym, a lot of times it's really hard to get up and go do it every day. Eventually that payoff is there, but sometimes things take a long time and change can be really hard. How in your career have you seen people handle change well? And how do you actually help people on that journey and help them use that ability to transform to continue pushing through hard times?
Yeah, I think one, it really comes to aligning on the vision. And I really think if everyone understands the vision, then it really helps them understand, okay, this is where we're trying to get to. And then they really need to understand the why. So the why are we doing this? Why is this our vision? And then really, what's my role in that? What role do I play for all employees questioning that? And I think if we can help them answer that. So communication is so critical in transformational change.
Absolutely. And I think allowing people to ask questions and to even question things, sometimes great outcomes come from somebody saying, why are we doing it that way? And then you start to ask those questions. One of the things I've seen the most in businesses that do transform is implementing a first principles thinking about it in a different way than what we've always done. Our industry is an old industry. It's pretty traditional in a lot of ways, but I'm seeing now people in the dealers, people in the distribution channel, all the way up to the manufacturers, they're starting to really implement some cool innovation, whether it's tech or even with their people. Are you seeing that? I mean, what excites you the most about the transformation, the innovation that is happening just generally in our industry?
I absolutely agree with you. Probably we are an industry that has been slower to bring innovation, slower to bring change. And that's primarily, I believe, because of home building, right? That industry was still very stick built, and we're starting to see change with that. But there is this want of new products. There's design trends. There's this want for innovation. There's also this want for quality. And so I really believe that is what is driving what we're seeing. And also, there's just much higher operating costs. So how can retailers do things more efficiently? Yeah. Technology plays a big role in that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Another thing that I see as a huge issue, most people tell me this, is we can't find good people. We can't hire good people. Well, the next generation of leaders that are coming in, especially super ambitious ones, they are going to want the technology to use in their role that they've been using at home every day for their entire lives because they grew up with this technology. So I believe that what is coming with people who are either the customers or in the business are going to demand that that technology does keep up. And AI, I talk a lot about AI. It's here. It's not coming. It's already here. And the trajectory of how fast it's changing it's so rapid that it really makes my head spin, because one week something comes out and you're like, that's really amazing. And sometimes that's not relevant to you and you don't pay attention. And the next week something will come out that's just exponentially better. It's insane. How are you seeing that? I mean, are people afraid of that type of change with AI? I mean, what are you hearing in the membership or in the people you talk to?
Well, there's this stigma around AI that it's disruptor. And I really think in our industry, it is disruption, but it's bringing positive change that our industry needs.
Yeah.
Most importantly, it's bringing the consumer insights. It is so important to our independent retailers of understanding who their customer is. Our independent retailers' unique value proposition is their service model of how they service their customers. And the customer demographic is changing. And they also have multiple different customer types. So how they sell to a pro, the services they offer versus a DIY customer versus a do-it-for-me is all different. But the AI is helping them understand their customer and get even closer.
Yeah.
And I even think just bringing it to personalization, sending emails to them that is specific for what they need, or anticipating they were in and bought furnace filters. Oh, you know what? We're going to send now 6 months later an update reminding them they need to change their furnace filters again.
It's very smart. I say this a lot. I think it will enable us to do the things that we know we should be doing, but we don't have time to actually execute. And so that we can send those furnace reminder emails or texts, because it's really hard to actually do that stuff. There's just so much going on. Like, I worked behind the counter of a lumberyard where we had 10 people running a lumberyard that was super busy. And I didn't have time to say, oh, I should tell Joe that he bought furnace filters 6 months ago and he should come back in and buy some more. But AI doesn't forget. And it's easy to set reminders like that. So I think that's such a good example tactically. And then you can go as far as, we have voice agents that are answering people's phones. I think 78% of small business phone calls go unanswered. That's the statistic from CallRail. That is a lot of calls that are not getting answered. 7 out of 10 calls just don't get answered, especially in the busy season. What if somebody can answer that phone that knows your products and can at least get a name and phone number or an email to come back and say, hey, Marianne, you need to call Stephanie back. She's looking for a door, or she's looking for this lawnmower, whatever it is. And that's real life today. So I just don't think people know how to use it or what to start with. And that's one of the things I'm really passionate about, is just start somewhere super easy, write an email with it. And then you can see how easy it can be for you to implement it into your business.
Yeah. You talked about being in the lumberyard. It made me think of being on the contractor desk way back when. And, blueprint takeoffs are so important for our pro customers, the accuracy. And, we need AI and technology support to make that process faster, make it more accurately, so our independents can get the right amount of product when needed on the job site, have it sequenced, and really quote the full job.
Yeah. And the thing that is really super in our face right now is that these big titans, orange, blue, QXO, all the colors, they are implementing technology and AI, and they are doing these things already that the pro contractor wants, and they're coming after them hard. Everyone's fighting over the pro contractor because it's the best business there is. And I think in the next 2 to 3 years, you're going to see numbers that are hockey sticked in remodel over around certain categories, windows, doors, other things. And that's going to get more competitive. So the more tools you implement now, the more you'll be able to compete in 6 months to a year with those other people that have billions to spend. That is one thing I love about Do It Best Group and the co-op model in general. Do It Best is the largest co-op in the world. And you guys offer a lot of services and a lot of products and people that someone with one lumberyard or someone with one hardware store or 5 hardware stores can have the same leverage as someone with 1,000. How have you seen that since you've started? Just really with the true value acquisition, it continues to give more leverage to independents. How has that been successful and what surprised you about that?
Well, that is really the value of the cooperative is that a member who has one store has the scale supporting them of, basically 8,500 locations. And it's really supporting how they service their community.
Yeah.
First and foremost is, our role is to help drive foot traffic to their store. It's to support them growing their business, acquiring more customers, growing their average ticket with those customers, and really understanding what is their unique value proposition? How do they service their customer above the competition?
Yeah.
That service in our independent retailers is our unique value proposition.
Absolutely.
In addition to that, the flexibility that they serve, meaning if a pro contractor calls in and says, I'm short 12 2x4s, they're going to do everything in their power to get it in the back of a truck and get it to job site, likely within 45 minutes of that call.
Yeah.
And that is a key differentiator.
I agree. My dad, he has a 2001 F-250 that he's obsessed with. And he has driven many a 2x4, exactly what you just exclaimed. As the owner of the business, hey, you need it. You can't get here. I got you. And I think that spirit is what will always continue to keep the independent lumber and hardware store alive. And then couple that with the scale and leverage that someone like a cooperative Do It Best brings. I don't know that anybody can really compete. And I think they need to be more visible and tell their stories. That's something that I feel is super important. Our industry is a pretty humble industry. Most people aren't wearing pink hats and walking around and wearing leopard print. They're just hardworking people, and they are not wanting to be in the spotlight because that's not what it's about for them. They want their customers to be in the spotlight. And the stories of our industry are brilliant, and they are beautiful, and they're legacy stories, and people need to hear those. So I think that that's another thing is share your story and share your customer stories, and more people will say, hey, they solved a problem that I have, and I'm going to come let them solve it for me.
Yeah.
Are you seeing fun stories as you're working here and you're hearing, you're on the market. I'm sure you've seen some things. Anything that just strikes you that you want to share?
My heart is really full today, and that comes from those stories. So over in our category solutions and our true value assortment city, the stories that I've heard and where those stories come from is the flexibility that we give our independent retailers for their planograms. We put a lot of science into the art of merchandising for our planograms, but we also offer them the flexibility to put the right products in that planogram for servicing their local market. And that is another secret sauce of ours is, they anticipate and know what their community needs. They also hear from their customers, and they'll call in and say, I requested this item, and this morning on stage at our merchandising preview, so many new products that have been introduced are because a member has called in and said, we really have demand for this. Can we put it in the warehouse to support our business?
Wow. I wish someone would request golden retrievers because Marianne, that's the only thing I feel like is missing at this market is golden retrievers. Maybe I'm the one, maybe I'm the vendor that will have them in my podcast booth. And I won't sell them because I want to keep all of them.
I won't leave your podcast.
No, I know how to get you here now, Marianne, every time. I'll just tell you that I brought my golden retriever with me and you'll be here in a jiffy. I love that. Well, it is cool that you can solve member problems and you're willing to think about what is going to be happening and how to continue to innovate with that. So what worked 5 years ago is not what's working right now. And we all know that that's only going to continue to change. You guys just announced a partnership with Toolbox. You have e-commerce, you have marketing solutions, you have amazing merchandising help where people can get these brilliant displays. I love the Studio 695 that's set up right down the way where real life, you can walk through and see and touch and feel these products on the floor here and then put those into your showroom if you have a showroom for cabinets and flooring and all those things. So you're making it really easy for people. As you continue this journey of transformation and integration, bringing together really three companies with United Hardware, True Value, and Do It Best, what excites you the most? And what's next for you on your journey in the next few months?
What excites me the most is our vision. And you know what's really interesting is through these acquisitions, our vision hasn't changed. And that is really exciting. It's exciting for the team.
Yeah.
And so everyone is aligned to the vision. And now we have this incredible opportunity to get us probably even closer to our vision sooner with these acquisitions and really build this incredible company that's going to be the champion of independence, more so than what we are today.
Yeah.
Because we can't stay constant. And what we're going to build is the company for the future that's going to support our growth. And most importantly, sustaining the growth that is going to support our members' success.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's exciting for me. And I love that Champion of Independence slogan. It really just resonates deeply with me. And I know it does with you as well. I want to ask you one final question. If you were to go back and you were to talk to 25-year-old Marianne and you were to give her some advice about how to be successful in this industry, what would you tell her?
I would tell her exactly what I told her then. And that was follow your passions. I found a passion for our industry and have stayed committed to it, loving what I do every day, always hard work, grit, and a firm believer everything happens for a reason and everything always works out.
Yeah. I believe that so strongly. You got to be tough though, and you got to be ready to fail a little bit, but you've obviously done it brilliantly and beautifully. And I can feel your passion, which is exciting. Two passionate lumber and hardware blondes in bright colors. What else could someone ask for on a podcast? We're here. I love it. Well, thank you so much for joining me. And I'm excited to watch you and the team transform and make this into, like you said, the future company that you guys have the vision for. And I know everyone's watching and they're excited to see it come to fruition. Yeah, it's truly one team with one vision and one company. Our journey is so bright. It's so exciting. I can't wait to see us a few years down the road. Well, I hope you have a wonderful market. Thank you. And thank you for joining me on the Grit Blueprint podcast. Thank you. Thank you for listening to the Grit Blueprint podcast. If this episode helped you think a little differently about how to show up, share it with someone in your building world who needs it. If you're ready to turn visibility into growth, then head to gritblueprint.com to learn more and book a call to talk to us about your growth strategy. Until next time, stay unmistakable.